So we've been talking here at the Mindset Retreat for 2 days about dreaming a bigger dream. Really, the audacity of dreaming a bigger dream for our business, for our legacy, for our lives. Really showing up in the world in a much, much bigger way so that we help so many more people than we're currently serving. With every single person we touch, we change the world, don't we? And so I believe it is your divine duty to turn up the volume on how you show up in life. And so we dreamed a bigger dream. And today, give yourselves another big hand for all the great work you did about clearing the gunk inside, really getting out of your own way, committing to really showing up as a much more powerful person in the world. And it looks like we have a few hundred people in this room, doesn't it? Yeah. Actually, it's not true. Yeah. We have thousands of live streamers coming in right here. Stand up, please, and say, hello, live streamers! So glad that you're here with us. Welcome. Welcome to the Mindset Retreat. We're delighted that you could be here for a couple of hours as a sneak peek into the Mindset Retreat. My intention is that you get inspired and that you're here next year. My intention is that you are inspired. See, here's what I know. This is me, and maybe you're a little bit like me. Unless I know that it can be done, I question the validity of a big dream. Anybody else? Unless I know that it can be done, sometimes I question, is that valid? But when I see that someone else has done it, and they experience the same resistance that I am experiencing, and they went above the resistance and said yes to themselves, and they did it, it's like there's this emboldened Fabienne that shows up and says, if they can do it, I most certainly can do it myself. Do you feel that way too? Yeah. Anybody else? Woohoo! Well, I have got that inspiration for you today. There are hundreds of Boldheart business members, and all of them are on this journey to playing a much bigger game in service to the world. And if there were several hundred seats on this stage, believe me, I would have them all up here. But with the limited time that we have, I selected a few people that could really inspire you. Different people. Not just all charismatic people, people who are quiet too. Not just coaches, but people who are in different industries. And I really want you to get that whatever resistance they had to saying yes to themselves, they overcame it. I want you to hear where they were before, what they did to overcome the resistance, and where they are now. Would you help me welcome them? Rise to your feet, please. Boldheart business members of the Inspiration Panel, please come up. Have a seat, please. How's it feel? Okay? A little nervous? Really excited? Excited. Good, good, good. So I'm just going to ask them some questions. My intention is for you to really fuel your heart with hope, with inspiration, and with the feeling that I can do it too. Jen, you're holding the mic, so why don't we start with you?
Okay.
Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Jen Hickel from Minneapolis, Minnesota, jenhickel.com, and also the author of Happy Kids Growing Biz.
Mm-hmm. Jen, tell me about your situation before joining the program.
Before joining the program, I had a good business.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty solid. I just convinced my husband to quit his job.
Okay, all right. So you were making...
We were netting, so we were bringing home about $100,000 a year.
Okay, great.
And our business was bringing in about $500,000 a year.
Okay, awesome.
My husband was nervous. He's very analytical.
Mm-hmm.
And so even though we were, at this new point of making money, the cost of the program was a big jump for us.
Mm-hmm.
And on paper, it did not make sense to him.
Tell me about your situation.
Yeah.
What was not working about your business, or why would you even consider doing a program like Boldheart Business?
My business was achieving a goal that I wanted, but I knew I wanted to do more. And when you were talking about playing a bigger game and making a bigger impact, that was my heart saying, yeah, that's what I want to do. But I had no idea how to do it. I mean, I had gotten where I was.
Wow, pretty amazing.
Yeah. But I did not know how to go to the next level.
Mm.
And I had done other coaching programs,
Mm-hmm.
but it wasn't the female aspect.
Tell me more about that.
Yeah. I think other coaching programs did a lot of the how. It was the tangibles. Mm-hmm. And in some ways, my success went faster than my self-image.
Mm.
My success was faster than even maybe the why.
Mm-hmm.
And I was hiding.
You were hiding.
I was hiding. I felt...
Was there a little bit of a fraud factor in there? Imposter syndrome?
Not so much, but just don't look at me. I just don't want to be seen. And I was even getting media attention, and I just would bawl because I didn't feel good enough. That was really the core. I wasn't enough. I didn't feel good enough. And yet at the same time, I wanted to help more people. Yeah. I wanted to do more. So I was very, very stuck in my reality and then what I knew my destiny was, and just how on earth am I going to do that?
Yeah. What was it that made you look at this program and say, maybe I belong here?
I bought the client attraction system.
Mm-hmm.
I went through it 7 times.
Mm-hmm.
And it just was not clicking. I was trying to do the work, and I was on your email list and seeing some of the videos. And one day I was like, that's enough. I'm calling. I'm doing this. And it was something I knew I had to do for myself. Yeah. And I homeschool. I have 4 kids.
You have 4 kids. Give her a hand, everybody. If any of us think we're busy with our business and we just have too much on our plate, I think we need to look to Jen.
Oh.
And so go ahead. And so you decided to say yes.
Yeah.
To take the leap of faith.
Yeah.
And how did you explain that to your husband? Because he wasn't necessarily, yes, Jen.
No.
Go!
I was pretty much like, I'm going to do this. And he was like, really? And I was like, I can do this. I know I can do this. I can work the program. I promise I will. But the dream and the possibilities doesn't compute to his brain, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he was just
wired differently.
He's just wired differently.
Yeah.
So he was just looking at the numbers. But at the end of the first year, I said, look at the numbers. This is because of Boldheart.
Give her a hand. What did you do with the numbers? What happened to the numbers?
So 2 years later, we are netting $300,000 a year, and we have $1 million company.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Jen, what was it about the program that helped you get to $1 million business?
So much was self-worth. So much was believing I could do it and having the right community of people that you show up and they're like, of course you can do this. Like it's obvious to them. And I'm like, really? Yes. And just overcoming fear and resistance. And I love the travel. I need to get away from my house and my kids, right? And think and plan and just have that space. So even though that was a sacrifice, it was like the best part. It was the best part. And you know what? Oh, I should share this. Yeah. I had never checked into a hotel by myself before the first meeting. I had never flown alone before the first meeting. Wow. And I had to conquer those things and do it.
And you did it.
Yeah, and I did it.
Give her a hand for that. Jen, what are the elements of the program that you like the best, that you find are the most useful for you? And have that magical feel for you?
I love the curriculum. I love the strategy. But the people are absolutely what I love the most. I can't live without them. You can't find people like this in this dense amount anywhere else.
What are they like?
They're encouraging and warm, and the first moment that they meet you, they just love you. And I don't know that I really loved myself as much. And so I saw reflected in them, like what they thought about me. And to me, I just did what I did. And yeah, I just homeschool and it just wasn't a big deal. But people were like, wow. And I'm like, wow? Is it a wow? I don't know. Truly. And I had to catch up. I had to match who I am with how I saw myself. Yeah. And honestly, I mean, just to see a successful woman who's married with children, it's like there's no one else that I want to emulate and follow, because that's not the case everywhere you go. It feels rare to me. And I wanted to prove that I could still have a solid marriage and be a great mom and have this business.
Yeah, awesome. How did your husband feel about your investment now?
He is thrilled. He's so supportive because he's like, every day he's like, honey, we did this. You did this. Look at these numbers. And he's literally like, thank you, thank you, thank you. Because he said, I would not have taken this risk. I would not have done this, but you took me along for the ride. He's like, I got to quit my job. We got this house. We have this life. We get to travel. And he's actually thanking me instead of, resisting me and thinking I'm crazy. Like I think my dreams, I always knew it was possible. I didn't know how to do it. I knew it was possible. But he's looking at the numbers going, yeah, but this says this. Yeah. And now he's looking at the numbers going, this says this.
Are you just an outlier, or is this, in your opinion, possible for many people?
If I can do it, you can do it. Yeah.
Give our hand, everybody. Well done, Jen. Well done. Ladies, introduce yourself.
Hi guys.
So I'm Eva.
I'm Hannah. For those who wonder, yes,
we're twins.
Tell us about you and your business.
So we have a dental care clinic and above and beyond, a holistic approach. But we came here today to talk about our story, why we're here, why we're sitting here. So it's all started when we have relocated from the UK. We worked 5 years in a dental practice in UK as employees, and we haven't met Fabian immediately once we relocated to a town which is called Brno without you, in the Czech Republic. So we met, we spotted Fabian, Hannah spotted Fabian on Facebook. It was about a year when we were in the business. And that's when all started. Because imagine we had no clients at all because we were relocating to a town where we were not born. We studied in Prague, and we have had a profession abroad.
So we literally had 0 clients, and our friends, included our family as well, thought that we were crazy, like, what are you guys doing? On top of it, 95% maybe in the Czech Republic, dentists, they do have insurance contracts. We had no contract, and we actually asked for a contract, but we haven't been given one. So we're basically, didn't have any kind of, why would people come to us? So then I spotted your on Facebook, which again, game changer for me, because I was, and Eva even more, we were anti-Facebook people.
Oh, okay.
In 10 years, I maybe have 10 pictures on my personal profile. And that's only because someone tagged me. I still don't know how it works.
But somehow you found me.
We have, and I'm so grateful. So,
So what happened? You decided to join the Boldheart Business Program.
We did indeed. We bought the online course first. So we saw the mindset from the TV last year. We're very proud of you, crowd. I am, because I today noticed that Fabienne doesn't do shh.
Yes, I must have done that a lot in the past.
But you know what? That means that everyone's just loving what you're saying, and everyone's just so focused. See, so
So you started with no clients.
We had
You
0
didn't
clients.
have insurance. And what did you begin implementing as a result of being in the program once you said yes?
So we started to implement. The first session we had was on video, and we implemented. So it was, I can remember it just like that, just like today. It was before Christmas, our first session, right? So we went. We've been actually really lucky. We went for Christmas holidays to Caribbean, and we thought, oh, we can't even, we can't post like our first video from Caribbean. Like, everyone's gonna hate us. But
Not
we
bad.
did, and we said Happy Christmas from there, because you told us we must do it once a week. So
And we
did.
do. We
And
have
since that-
video Wednesdays every week. Every week.
And since that, what happened after that, it's just incredible, because we basically are overwhelmed by the amount of people we actually now see.
Maybe we can say some numbers.
Yes, if you would.
Hannah,
So I did the numbers, and the very first year, so it was, we've got almost 2 years now. The very first year we had 52 appointments a month. Now we have 130 appointments a month. Which comes with the revenue, of course, as well. So the very first year, obviously, we invest in our company, and we earn no money. Whilst I think it was the 3rd month in to your program when we just started to earn money.
Yeah.
And we're just like, when we see our analysis, we've got a software which does it. It just goes like this.
Yeah. What do you think the percentage of increase is from when you started the program?
I had to actually check with Eva, because she's better in math, and I was asking her, is this actually right? Did I do the math right?
Yeah.
And our mum, used to be a math teacher, so she would be like, but it was almost 400%.
400%. So imagine what happens in following years. I mean, thanks, Flavia.
Thanks.
What was there any resistance? Any what you felt was holding you back from joining the program in the beginning?
Of course it was, because, like I said, we invested a lot in our company, and another expanse was considered, like, we need to consider it, right?
But then I stepped in and I
Yes.
said, I want to do something once only for myself. And I just felt that this is what I need to do. And I said, Hannah, I'm doing it. I'm signing it. That's it.
And I was like, well, but I'm like you. I want to do it too. 'Cause
Yeah.
we're just wins. So we're kind of sometimes fight. But we're like saying the same thing, but we fight. So I'm very grateful. And your program is just a lifetime investment. If anyone wants to do and invest in themselves, please do. You're not like people think.
we say there's many courses in one course.
Yeah, we are getting like maybe
We have
10 or more courses.
You got
we
a
have so
marketing
much
course,
value. Marketing, life course, personal
self-development, but also we said we've got an English course as well. We can get to practice our English.
Yeah, and we forgot to say that we are marketing in English. So we are marketing in English,
which is
in
unheard
our
of.
country, the Czech Republic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did the guy tell you?
Yeah, so when we were in Caribbean, we had managed the surgery the way that we would take 2 weeks off.
And that was for the reason we had no clients, mind you. So we actually had to go.
We had to go, yeah. So we were like, this is the only opportunity. Then the business would be full. So when? And we have received some messages to the USA, Caribbean, and the first client, he said, "Wow, that was bold. You emailed back in English only, not in Czech.
Yeah.
Only in English."
This boldness, did you have it as much?
No.
Taking bigger risks?
No, and yeah, it's.
I think we're getting bolder and bolder and bolder.
Yeah,
I think
every
so.
day.
Yeah,
And it's. I have to say, it's about the community. It's Fabienne, firstly, her knowledge. I admire that, but it's the knowledge of all you here. It's inspiring every minute, and thank you for that.
So if you're considering, it's not only the program, but as an amazing bonus you actually get is the community. Every single person we are in our course, and even here, we're just meeting incredible people. They're so mindful, thoughtful. They'll give you million advices for free, just like that. And they're amazing support, and we love them.
Yeah. One thing that I'd love to say, in fact, to all of you, is that every time you come for one of the meetings, or you're on one of the calls, I give you a recipe. I say, here you go. You want to do this? You do it like this. You don't have to go online anymore and search for stuff. This is exactly how you do it. And what I really admire and respect about the two of you is you go and you don't question it, and you go do exactly as I say, exactly as the recipe is written, and you get your results. And you don't even question it. And I really admire that about you. Yeah.
Thanks, Fabienne.
Yeah. It's wonderful having you here.
Thanks.
Congratulations.
It's wonderful to be here. Thanks very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Give them a hand.
Thank you.
Martha.
How did that happen?
Yes.
Just happened to appear here.
Martha, introduce yourself, please.
My name is Martha Fraser. I have a company, marthafraser.com. I help service industries become the global online star in their field so they can shine, make an impact, and make an income.
Let's talk about what life was like before opening the door and stepping into Boldheart. Are you willing to?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So before I joined Boldheart, things had been going okay. I'd been doing it on my own. Then my husband got very ill. He had a seizure and they discovered a brain tumor. And I knew that shit got real. Sorry, excuse my French.
No.
And I knew it was time to really step up in my business. And with all of this new life change, I knew I could not do it on my own. And I didn't want to do it on my own. Mm-hmm. And actually at the time, I'd been mentor shopping for 6 months. Mm-hmm. I had done strategy calls with every mentor out there. I've done the work. And then I had done a strategy call with Boldheart. And at the time, my husband was sitting in ICU in the neurological hospital. And I was sitting in the chapel. And
you had your strategy call in the chapel.
Oh, no, I had it in the hall, and then I went to the.
I'm like, that's looking for divine guidance.
And then I went to the chapel to pray and ask for the answer. And I said, okay.
Why Boldheart and not all these other places that you're interviewing for 6 months?
I think I had been stalking you a little bit on your blog. I saw you in an ad, and you just felt real, and I kind of felt the love. And I knew, I said, if I can work with this lady, that sounds very real to me, you know.
And was it a facade?
No, hell no. No, you're amazing, Fabienne. And, you know, I've just finished my first year, and it has changed my life, every part of my life. And that's why I'm here, to say thank you, sincerely from my heart.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Would you be willing to share some of the things that have changed for you in just 1 year?
In just 1 year. So my income has increased 66%. You helped me get my feminine back. You helped me become a better woman in myself. Just by, like, when we have our meetings, to be able to be this close to you, who has achieved so much, and to hear the knowledge that you impart so generously, honestly, and you don't leave anything out. You tell us what worked, what didn't work, and what not to do. So as a person, I am so much happier. Like, this year, I've been to Paris 4 times, New York, and Atlanta. In 2016, if you'd asked me that, I was going, what? You know, so the joy has come back into my life. I'm a better mom. And my marriage in the last while has massively improved because things have got better. Yeah.
Yeah, can we give her a hand for that?
Yeah. And can I just say about the driving thing? Because of my husband's condition, he wasn't able to drive. And, you know, the way, I don't know if you're like this, but in most couples, the man possibly does most of the driving, which was the case in our. And then when he couldn't drive, I had to do all of the driving. And when I was sitting in the seat, which, I mean, I would have done the driving if he wasn't there, of course. But when I was sitting in the seat, and I was like going, wow, this driving seat is nice. It really made me realize I wasn't in the driving seat of my life or my business in the way I should have been. You know? So it's been the most empowering year of my life. Yeah. Best decision ever.
You have changed so radically. I remember exactly what you looked like the first meeting.
Yeah.
And by the end of the second day, you were speechless.
Mm-hmm. I was.
No words coming out of your mouth. It's like her jaw was like, what are we learning here?
Yeah.
And you came back the next meeting and you implemented everything from the strategy call.
Mm-hmm.
And you keep showing up and you keep doing everything. You had, this was an investment.
Oh yeah, big time.
And you hustled.
I had to hustle. You know the way they say your house is burning? My house was burning. For a long time, I didn't step up because, you know, I will say it, you know, my husband had a better income and the pressure wasn't there and blah, 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 blah. And well, now the house was burning and it was like, right, time to just step up and do it.
But I have to say, sometimes for some people, when things are really bad at home, this is the last time that they would invest in themselves. They wouldn't choose to invest in themselves when things are not stable at home.
Yeah. Well, I was running my own mastermind and I could see the value they were getting. And I was going, I need to get back because I knew the value of coaching. I knew the value of the community. I knew the value of being with other people who are rising and they're championing you and you're championing them. It's invaluable. I for a while, I went on my own. I will never, ever, ever, ever do it on my own again.
Me either.
It's just way too much fun with all of you guys.
We dance.
We dance. Yeah.
in front of people.
In front of people.
No, and like I said, you implement everything. You're always following the recipe.
Well, you've done it, so
Yeah.
be stupid not to.
Any advice to, perhaps there are some people in this room who would really like to have an increase in their business. Maybe 66%, maybe they just want to become more powerful, more bold, really take their big ideas into the world. Would you have any advice for them, Martha?
Just join Boldheart.
What is it that you get here? What are your best elements here?
So much. So, and this is the thing that when I was looking at all the other options, when I saw all that I got, and then when I joined, I got even more. The amount of support from the amazing team, from everyone. To be honest, I was nearly inundated with the support at the start. I was going, oh my God, this is so amazing. Brownies and letters and books and oh my God, it's amazing. And it just, it was so real. It was so authentic. It was so loving. The knowledge, the meetings, the community, as I said, like meeting everyone and we all support each other, like having others help each other. Just phenomenal, you know. And I mean, I didn't have the full year payment when I signed up.
Say more about that.
I just knew I wanted to be in it, and it was time to make decisions. Like when I came here, I'm after coming from Ireland for 10 days. I have 2 children. I didn't know how I was going to get childcare for 10 days, but I made the decision first that I was coming and that I would figure it out then. So this is my new way. Make the decision first and then figure it out.
Woo!
Yeah. You know, and it's just, even being on this stage, because of what happened to us, we now live from a place of you never know. So I was going, no, I said I'd be on the stage one day. I said, no, I'll do it this year.
Yeah.
You know, so I didn't have the full year payment. And I said, once I say yes, I know I will hustle my ass off to make sure that and when I did that, funny thing, my business grew.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Know? Yeah.
Congratulations, Martha. Give her a hand. Deborah.
I'm Debbie Cowart. I'm a midwife and an owner of a birth center. Our website is growingfamilybirthcenter.com. I first saw Fabienne on a Facebook ad or something somebody posted or something.
There's a theme.
And so I watched some videos and found out about them to the website, found out about the client attraction. I call it a workbook because that's really what it is. It's a workbook. It's a program. And I told my husband that it was the most expensive book I've ever bought in my life. But I told him I have to have this. And I was trying to think back. I think it was about 13 months ago that I bought that.
While you were buying that book, what was your situation like in your business?
So we started our birth center about 7.5 years ago. And in the first year, we were 12 and a half months, we were debt-free. Then we made the decision after a couple of years to move to a different building, larger building, better building. And through a couple other things that happened, we were not having the income that we were having before. We'd gotten to a place where we were paying our bills on credit cards, and we had a contract for this lease that we really couldn't get out of. So we had, closing was not an option. We were I'm trying to find something online, something to help us turn this around. So I got the book. I read through the entire thing, which I think is what it says in the beginning. Read the whole thing
That's right.
First.
You followed the directions.
And then I started working through it, and I got about 2/3 of the way through it. Most of the information in there I knew, and it was going a step further than what I already knew what to do. But as I was working through it, I saw that this is something I could not do on my own. So I went back to the website and clicked on the thing just to have a free consultation. And we talked with the coach that called, and really, really good information. I was excited, and my husband's like, we don't have the money. And so she said she'd call back in a month. So she gave us a couple assignments, the 50 ways. We did that, and a couple other things. I don't remember what they were right now. And so we did those things, and she called back in a month. And in the meantime, I had told my husband, we're going under. And it doesn't matter if we go under at 100,000 or 200,000. And we need to spend this money. And so literally I went online and I got 2 0% interest credit cards, because honestly, that was the easiest way out than to do some of the other things on the 50 ways list.
Yeah.
And we just paid for the program. And I did that. We were scrambling to do that in time to do the growth meeting that was that last February, this year.
What has happened as a result of you joining the program?
So last week before coming, we decided to look at what is our client base, how many clients do we serve last year, and how many do we anticipate serving this year. So we've only got 2 months left of this year. So, and I know who's due. So
it's pretty much it.
We compared that, and we had a 48% increase in our client base. But even better than that, we looked at the income for the 4 months on average before we joined Boldheart, and then the last 3 months. And our increase in our gross income, it was 71%. We had joined in February, and by May we were no longer having to pay any bills with credit cards.
Woo! What is it about the program that works so well?
Part of it is I like the modules because it breaks things down into smaller pieces. They're short, doable pieces. And I also want to say that I haven't done everything.
Yeah, say
yet.
that. Say that.
I wanted to make sure that I said that. And I realized when we crunched the numbers last week, if I had actually done everything, where would my business be? I mean, it's been great stuff. I like the online meetings. I try to be on every one. That I occasionally have to miss them because I can't help it. But there's all these different types of meetings. There's question and answer meetings, and most of the time I don't even have a question. But I have my notebook, and I'm writing down things that is inspiration from hearing the answer from somebody else's question. New ideas that I can implement in my business. I like, and I knew about time blocking, but I wasn't good about doing it myself. And so there's these implementation sessions where there's a block of time.
How long are these implementation sessions?
I think they're 4 hours. Yeah. And the deep dives are 3.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So I blocked that time out, and my husband has been coming with me. He was a little apprehensive about this whole thing. Is this really going to work? This is a lot of money. And I think he's convinced, and he's here today.
He
is. Twisted his arm to come.
Stand up! Stand up! Give him a big hand! Woo!
And a lot of this stuff, the attractions, laws of attraction, that kind of stuff, is stuff that I have been looking at for several years. And he's like, I don't know about this. He's been doing the work probably harder than I have been today. I'm really proud of him.
Yeah, you should be. Debbie, would you have been able to increase your client base by 40+% and your revenues by 70+%, doing it the way you've always been doing it?
Absolutely not. Yeah.
What would you recommend to somebody who is waiting, who is stuck and who doesn't believe that now is actually the best time to invest in herself or himself.
You can't wait. It's just wasting time. And you're not going to be able to grow and get out there like we need to do if you don't have the support. And what I appreciate is that you've taken all these resources, and a lot of the books that get mentioned, I've bought them and listened to myself. I listen because I don't have time to sit and read them.
Yeah,
so
sure.
I do the audiobooks when I'm driving. But I don't have the time, the money, the energy to gather these resources and do it. And you have put it all together in this nice package and just tell us step by step. Do this first, do this next.
Yeah.
And so, don't wait.
Sometimes people
Don't
are
wait.
overwhelmed. Yeah. Sometimes I notice that solo business owners can get really overwhelmed at all the things that there are to do. Is that you sometimes? Yeah. It's like, where the heck do I start? And I think that what I hear again and again from you is that just tell me what the next step is. Just don't even tell me what to do after that. I just want to know what the next step is, and I'll do that. And then you'll give me the next breadcrumb. I'll do that, and so on. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so like I said, a lot of the things, almost everything that so far has been covered in almost 9 months is stuff I already knew, but I didn't know how to take it further. Just one example I'll give you is one of the first things we were asked to do is to figure out who our ideal client is. And I'm like, I'm a midwife. It's any pregnant woman, right? And although I want to serve every pregnant woman that wants what I offer, that she's not my ideal, not every pregnant woman is my ideal client. And it helped me define that. So, and that was just like one of the steps. And then we go on to the next thing, right? I'm excited now to start fixing my website. So where
And
I'm
make
at
it more
now.
client attractive. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Advice for someone here?
Sign up. You need the community. It's not just the step by step. It's the weekly meetings of question and answers. It's materials that you can review or you can download and listen to them in your car. It's all the pieces, and then the community on top of that. I've got an accountability buddy, and I know I can reach out to her if I need to. There's a Facebook group. There's so many parts that support, and it's great. So,
Yeah, the whole thing, some people think this is a coaching program, but it really is an implementation incubator. There's plenty of knowledge out there. It's not a lack of knowledge that people have. It's a lack of structure and mindset and step-by-step exactly how to, and then the space and the accountability to actually get it done. Most people fall short because they're not actually getting done the things that need to get done. Give her a hand, please, everybody.
Hello, Fabienne.
Hi, Amy.
So I'm Amy Brousseau from ABC Health Clinic, which is an interdisciplinary health clinic, and as well as abcbusinesscoach.com, which is my new coaching company for healthcare professionals. And the way I found Fabienne is actually just a year ago, exactly a year ago, actually just 2 weeks before the mindset retreat, I found myself being completely exhausted. I've been a chiropractor for 14 years, started my own practice right outside of university, and built that practice nice and slow. And 2 years ago, I did a big expansion, huge project. Now we're up to 20 healthcare professionals and 5 admin staff. And so it's really big, but I got completely overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And so
describe the overwhelm, if you would, Amy. What does that look like on an everyday level? What were you feeling? What was your life like? Were you working long hours? Were you taking any vacations? Were you working or not working on evenings and weekends? Just like describe it for us.
All right. Well, I was working all the time. There was no time where my mind was not on my business. When I was in my business, I was feeling bad that I was a bad mother because I have 2 children who are now 8 and 10. So I felt like a bad mother. And when I was home taking care of my family, I felt like a bad business owner. And then when I was working or taking care of my kids, I felt like a bad wife, like a bad friend, like everything was not enough because I was so dissipated into everything that nothing seemed to be enough.
Yeah.
So I was working 7 days a week. I don't know how many hours a day, 13, 14 hours.
That's a lot.
Yeah. And losing sleep because I was so stressed out. So even when I was supposed to be sleeping, I was up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That can really wreak havoc on someone's health.
Absolutely.
Well-being, mental well-being,
My mental health, my physical health was suffering, and I was actually hiding that from everybody. I was putting on my clown face, and so most people didn't know about that.
How were you feeling inside?
Awful. I felt like there was a bomb that was about to explode, and I knew I was about to hit a wall. I knew it, and so I told my husband, I said, I need to get out of this life right now. I'm leaving you with the kids for a few days, not forever, just for...
No, she actually likes our
Love him to
husbands.
pieces. But for a few days, I said, I have to find something. I need to figure my life out. And because nothing happens for no reason, something had to happen. I was just I was Googling, looking for a retreat. And I had no idea who you were. I had never seen a video of you. I did not know anything about Boldheart. And your retreat just fell on my computer. And I said, well, this is where I'm going.
And what I love that she's like, oh, the dates work. Okay, I don't know anything about it, but I'm going.
Well, you always say imperfect action, right?
Yeah, yes.
And as I said, it was actually a desperate act. Like we're laughing it off, but it was really just like, it was a life buoy I was trying to grab onto. And so when I got here, I was completely closed up because, well, I was just irritated with everything. And so I got here, and of course there's the big party going on and the dancing, and then people are hugging. And being from Canada, I was like, what are those Americans doing? Hugging and everything. And so the first day I was sitting like this. You were talking about how there are rebels in this room, and I was one of them. Complete rebel. What is this? I know this.
Yeah.
I know this.
I know this already.
I know this.
There's nothing new here.
Exactly. I've been to business school. I've got my MBA. I know this. I know all of this. But as you said, there's a difference between knowing it and knowing it, living it. And so the second day, when we did actually the fear exercise, which we just did now, I had circled 19 fears. And it completely blew my mind to realize that after I had the expansion of my practice, I had started living out of fear and making decisions out of fear instead of making my decisions out of faith. And once I realized that, I said, well, this is it. This is where I need to be. This is what needs to happen. And the rest is history.
Yeah. And so you decided to join Boldheart Business.
I did.
And that was, a year ago.
A year ago.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah. And so what's happened since?
A lot has happened. Well, I got my life back, is what happened. This is what you promised, and this is what you delivered.
I say, overwhelmed at 6 figures, get you to 7 figures, and get your life back.
Well, this is pretty much what happened. I was already, my business was already a multiple 6-figure practice at that point. So my main concern was not increasing my income. That being said, it's still a goal, and I'm happy to say that I am on target to hit my first $1 million this year. So this is great, but that is not the greatest in my opinion. The greatest thing is that this summer, I took a month off with my kids. Just stayed home, went to the lake, had fun. I no longer work 14-hour days, ever. I never miss a school activity with my kids. I get to take vacation with my husband.
Yes.
And my practice is running because we built the processes, we made things happen, we hired people because Fabienne told me, you need to hire people. And I was like, I can't afford it, I can't do this. I was so scared I was not going to have enough money for it. And I realized that I needed to invest so that the practice could grow. And now it's running by itself, allowing me to serve even more people because now I can help other healthcare professionals build their practices and work on my business coaching practice. So it's the best of every world.
Yeah. So Amy got her time back, and then she started something that's more of a leveraged income side business to be able, and your husband is helping you in that
Absolutely.
business?
My husband is helping me in that company, which is also a life goal that I had, to have something, very special with him that we would build together.
How has it made a difference for your family and your children to have you back?
Well, my children, I was actually having a discussion with them before we were heading down here, because they always get a little bit nervous. Oh, well, mommy's leaving.
Yeah.
And I told them, I said, do you remember last year when I left? And I've been leaving every 3 months to go to Stamford for the meetings. And I said, well, you realize that the reason why I was able to stay with you for a whole month and be with you at home and now you don't have to go to daycare as much is because I've been working with Fabienne. So do you think it's a good idea I go back? And they're like, yeah, Mom, go back. Go see Fabienne.
Do you realize that very few business owners ever get to $1 million in their business? And do you realize how even fewer of them are women? And there are 2 of you seated next to each other. That's a big deal. It's a big deal. Amy, what do you love about the program? What are the elements that really speak to you?
I love that you make everything so much so simple. It's so simple. You just have to follow the recipe, and you keep repeating it. But it's true. As you said, the knowledge part is one thing. To me, there's a difference between the knowledge and the knowing how to be. And I realize from you, one of the best things that I get is you taught me how to set boundaries. And that's what I've been lacking. And it comes from self-confidence, from self-worth, self-love. And so the personal development that I was not looking for in the beginning, yes, but which was the whole problem or the whole issue in this area, I didn't need as much knowledge as in the business, but I really needed to know how to be.
Yeah.
And that's
they go hand in hand, and most people don't realize that the self-worth, the mindset piece is just as important as the strategy. Congratulations,
Thank
Amy.
you for that, Fabienne.
Yeah. Thank you. Hannah, you're next.
Hello, my name is Hannah Beer from hannahbeer.com. I help ambitious women across the world heal deeply and create lives beyond their wildest dreams.
What was your business, what was your situation like before you walked into the Boldheart doors?
I had been in business for a couple of years already. I had clients, and I also had crippling anxiety because I felt like clients were coming very in a very out of control kind of way. Like sometimes I had clients, sometimes I didn't have that many clients. It just felt like I had no idea how to market. It felt like I just did not know what I was doing at all. And so even though I was making money and from the outside looking in, it looked like I had a pretty successful business, I always felt like I had no foundation. It was extremely rocky. I was just trying to make it, and people were congratulating me, but I was like, oh God, this isn't working and I can't take on more clients. Like more people wanted to work with me and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I can't take on more clients even though I really wanted to help them. It gave me so much anxiety and it made me feel like I was a great healer but a terrible businesswoman, terrible marketer, maybe not cut out for this. And yeah, that really broke my heart because I really love my clients and I want to help them, but I need to get my stuff in order.
Yeah. What made you look to us to help you with your business? What is it that you found here that was attractive to you?
I have taken many business programs. I have hired so many business strategists, so many business coaches, and that's also the reason why I felt like something must have been wrong with me because I was procrastinating like crazy. I started to hate running a business because it felt like I needed to get myself to do things that were completely misaligned with what I stand for. And when I found one video of you popping up somewhere on Facebook, I watched it, and it opened up this idea of a love-based business and love-based marketing and just getting to love my clients, just getting to help people, just getting to do the things that I wanted to do. Like, that's why I started my business in the first place. So the whole philosophy behind the business practices that you teach were the first thing that worked for me. That's when marketing became easy and business became easy and it became fun and it just started flowing and it was like things clicked into place and I realized I'm not a terrible businesswoman. I'm just unwavering in my values.
Yeah. You've worked with coaching programs before and they were not in alignment with you. What has happened for you since you joined?
Within a 2-month period, my business tripled, almost quadrupled.
Can we give her a hand for that? 2 months. 2 months. Wow.
Yeah, within 2 months. I had a ramp-up period before that where I was implementing. And as soon as I felt like I was standing on steady ground, my business went shoo. And that was fun, and I loved it. And big opportunities started coming in. I am about to collaborate with one of the biggest retailers in Europe. I collaborated with the Wanderlust Festival, which is a really big deal too. And those things just popped in out of nowhere. Clients have been popping in out of nowhere. I sold out all the retreats that I offered. So this fall, I thought, I just want to hug and love my clients in person. So I offered retreats. All of them sold out so fast. People wanted more. And just to be in this position to just get to love all day long and to pour my heart and soul into my work and to provide something that I've always wanted and that I know people are looking for is an honor and a privilege.
Mm-hmm. You said just a few minutes ago that you had felt like you were a terrible marketer. What kind of marketer are you now?
I love that question. I'm a really great marketer.
When it's done with authenticity, integrity, and love.
And nothing else. I don't tolerate anything else.
Yeah. What is it about the program that you like, Kiva? Like, tell me everything. What do you love about the program? Why does it work for you?
I am as spiritual and as psychic as I am scientific, and I loved that I now know exactly what I'm doing. Like, I was taught processes, I was taught marketing techniques. All of them work. All of them have been tried on thousands of businesses over the course of decades. I implement them. They work every single time, which means that the whole wondering, wishing, whatever that is, like, it just completely fell away. And I know I have a plan to step forward. So just the curriculum and all the modules were exactly what I wanted because I never actually learned marketing that works. and marketing that was tested on many different business models, and that just works. So that was just exactly what I needed. Yeah, and I love the community. I love that I get to just do it, and it works out all the time.
Was there resistance in joining the program? Something that was you were holding yourself back from doing it? And how did you overcome that resistance?
One thing I already mentioned was I had done many things, and I was afraid that I was going to invest in another thing that was just going to make me feel even more inadequate. I also was afraid that my history of struggling with mental illness was still going to hold me back. So it was more about me questioning. So for once it was questioning, like, do I need another program? Is it going to be a scam again? Or something that it's hard to say scam, but something that's not going to work for me. And then the other question was, can I do it? Because I had a hard life, and I need to take care of myself, and I need to thrive, and I need to be loved, and I need to go travel, and I need to go have a great time. And so I also thought, can somebody who's had a really hard life, who has overcome a lot of trauma, am I still capable of running a very big, very successful business? And I learned yes, and I just wanted to find out because I knew I could not try. I knew I needed to throw myself into it and give it all I've got to just at least get answers to those questions.
Did you? It almost seems like you found a home.
I love it here.
Yeah. What would you say to somebody who has tried other things in the past and they felt like they spent a lot of money and didn't get results, and they're wary of opening up their heart again and trying something where things maybe didn't work in the past? What would you say to them?
I would say to trust your body. Watch a video. Read something about Boldheart, and then see how your body reacts to it. Because for me, it was a sense of very clear relief. It felt scary, and it also felt light. And that's like my sign. Like, I can close my eyes, and when I'm in this vortex or connected to something from Boldheart, it always feels lighter. It always feels like it gives me life. And if this is the feeling that you get, your body knows. Trust your body.
Oh, perfect. Give them a hand, everybody. Woo! Give me a high five. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.